Hey guys, Reginald Duck here, back today with another deck profile. Today I've got the Volcanic deck for you. I think it's really good. Couple of really powerful cards in here that make the deck worth playing. Hopefully it will get more support in the future, but let's get into it. So for the main deck, we've got 3 copies of Volcanic Rocket. It gets you the reload from the deck, which is really good. It's the best card in the deck and it's the reason to play it, so 3 of those. Got 2 copies of Royal Firestorm Guards. It's essentially a Pot of Avarice on normal summon by putting back 4 pyro types. So the way the deck works, you want to get all your scatter shots in graveyard to destroy the field and then keep putting them back and doing it over and over. So 2 Royal Firestorm Guards. Got 3 copies of Scatter Shot. This is the reason to play the deck. When it's sent to graveyard off a Blaze Accelerator card, you can send 2 more, do 500 for each, and then destroy every monster in your opponent's field. So there's a way to send it in your opponent's turn and then you just blow up the field in their main phase. Or in yours. 3 copies of Volcanic Shell. What it does, when it's in graveyard, you can pay 500 to add another copy of itself from deck to hand. So it's just a good way of maintaining an advantage while also being able to discard it off things like the Neo Flamvel that I'm playing. You've got 1 copy of Neo Flamvel Lady. The reason I'm playing this is I'm playing Ties of the Brethren, so this is a good level 4 pyro fire type monster that has some good synergy with the deck. It's got a sort of DD Crow effect where you'll discard a card to banish a card from your opponent's graveyard, and it's a card, not just a monster, and then you can send a Volcanic Shell essentially from deck to grave. So it's really good. It's a shame you can't send a Scatter Shot, but it wouldn't really matter that much anyway. But got 1 Neo Flamvel. We're playing the 1 Barrier Statue of the Inferno. Again, Ties of the Brethren. You can summon out 2 other monsters, this in defense, and just really stun your opponent for a turn, or maybe more. And then we've got 3 copies of Magician's Souls. This card's really good. We used to play Magic Planter in the deck, but in more recent times this is much better because Magic Planter has to send it from face up, so it's actually a lot slower, whereas this helps you get the reload in the graveyard really quickly. And then for the 1 target, I should be playing Apprentice Illusion Magician, but I actually don't own one, so just a Hexatrude. All it is a target to send for the Soul Summon, but the best one is Apprentice Illusion because it can summon itself, whereas this can't. But it doesn't really matter, you're not going to draw it that often anyway, but ideally this would be an Apprentice Illusion. Then onto the spells, we've got 3 Foolish Burial Goods. The trap has an effect from grave, the reload where you can banish it to send a Scatter Shot and then it'll send 2 more Scatter Shots and then it blows up the board. So really good, just helps you establish it turn 1. 3 copies of Ties of the Brethren. It's a really good card. It doesn't stop you from special summoning before you activate, so you can still use your souls, make a Link Karibo as well as drawing some cards, so really good. Playing the 1 copy of Pot of Avarice. I didn't want too many normal summons in the deck, so I just wanted to be able to cut down one of the Royal Firestorm Guards and play a copy of this. Still really great, not hard ones per turn, could play more, but I'm choosing to just play the 1. For the best card, I've got 3 copies of Blaze Accelerator Reload. It does everything you need it to. Could do more support for other cards, but as a 1 card sort of thing, it's as good as you can expect. Banish it from grave, send a Scatter Shot, and then obviously blow up the board. And also, while you control it, discard a Volcanic, draw a card, which would then also trigger the Scatter Shot, and it just helps set up your graveyard, draw you through the deck. Really, really fantastic card. And then onto some more stun cards. Got 3 Judgment. Apart from the Accelerator Reload, you don't want anything else really going to graveyard, so you don't want to get blown out by like a Duster or a Lightning Storm, so 3 Judgment is essential, I feel. Playing 3 copies of Solemn Strike. Again, one of the best trap cards in the game. Just you want to go first in this deck. We are siding a lot of hand traps, but this is primarily for going first. Got 2 copies of Crackdown. I was playing 3, but I think I prefer 2 because there's just better trap cards to play. You could also play things like the Ice Dragon's Prison, but again I don't own that either. But really, really good card. Just 2 copies of Crackdown. Since we're not playing the Ice Dragon's Prison, Gozen Match comes up quite a lot. Just the entire deck is fire. You can just lock your opponent out of being able to summon and then just really control the tempo of the game. Really great. You could also play Rivalry because they are all pyro as well. 2 copies of Summon Limit. Really great stun card because after turn 1, if you've resolved your Ties of the Brethren, You're not going to summon twice in a turn anyway. Again, makes your opponent play at your pace. And then lastly, you've got one copy of Imperial Order. You're not playing that many spells, you're only playing 7, but it's just a really great card because if you've got this, it doesn't matter what the rest of your hand is, because sometimes you can just end the game. You've got one monster and an order, simplifies the game state, means you're more likely to be able to keep resolving things like Scatter Shot and just keep control of the board. So that's it for the main deck. And then onto the extra deck, I've got one copy of Link Karibo. It's really important because you can make this with the souls after you've used it, so you can protect like a barrier statue for example, or you can make this with one of your Volcanics, not Scatter Shot, the other one that's a level 1, because then you can get one engraved and then it can search you another one. So really good for just setting up your graveyard and also protecting anything you want to protect. One Almirage. It doesn't come up that often. It can just get rid of the Scatter Shot if you need to, for then activating a pot of Avarice for example. So just helps get cards in graveyard again. Really good. One Doolittle Chimera, because you can make this under the Gozen, which is really important, and I often found I was making a Phoenix just because I could make it, so I figured I'd make something more useful. So one Doolittle Chimera. One Barricade Borg Blocker. The reason I'm playing this is oftentimes you can get the reload to hand, but you can't actually get to graveyard, so you just want to be able to link off with like the Magician Souls and the Rocket, then get the discard. So really good, just as a card that can discard going first. Other than that, you don't really need it because there is no field spell for the deck. You've got one Phoenix. Again, it's a fire, really great. You can discard the reload. One Cerberus. Doesn't come up as much, but there is a fair bit of room in the extra deck because it's mostly just a stun deck. One Unicorn. I'm playing the full Nightmare package pretty much except Griffin because I'm playing an access code, so you want to just be able to climb through up and then make the access code and then pop as many cards as you want. So one Unicorn. Playing one Borrowload. Sometimes you just can't out certain cards, so you want a Borrowload that can just get rid of any problem cards that you wouldn't expect to see. So really great. One access code, like I said before, if you climb up into it through like the Unicorn, you can get this on 5/3, then get lots of different pops. So really good card. Just helps close out games because it does have a main deck boss monster, but it's not searchable. So if you do need to put out some big damage, this is the card. And then for the rank 4s, we've got one Baguska. Just helps you stun your opponent in case you've not got where you need to be in a couple of turns. You just want to make this, draw a few cards, and then hope for the best. Got one Exciton, just helps you go in second game. The deck's not particularly extra deck focused at all, but it's a really good card, so we're playing it. Playing one Emerald for even more recycling, because you really want your Scatter Shots back in deck no matter what, so you have to play this card, I feel. One Tornado Dragon, because you might need to just pop a reload in like a grind game sort of thing, and it's a really good just interruption as well against like Mystic Mine and other things like that. One Dweller, probably the best rank 4. This card is timeless, it really is fantastic. Any graveyard based effects just cannot activate, so absolutely broken card. I'm surprised it's never been banned if I'm honest. And lastly, because we are playing quite a few XYZs, got the Zeus. It comes up a couple of times, but it's better to have it and not need it because you might as well play it if you've got it. If you don't have it, it's probably not that big of a deal because you really don't use the extra deck that much, but I've got it, so it's here. So that's it for the extra deck. And for the side, I'm playing a lot of hand traps. So I'm playing the 3 copies of Gamma and the 1 copy of Driver because you really don't want to go second in this deck. So if you do, you want to give yourself the easiest time possible. You don't have to break any combo boards, you just want to go in, set up, and just play at your own pace. So 3 Gamma really slows down the meta. Got 3 copies of Nibiru. Again, really high impact hand trap, can just clear the board. You get a token, but it doesn't really matter. You can blow it up with the Scatter Shot anyway. So 3 Nibiru. 2 copies of Ash. Again, just helps with going second. Any rogue matchups you're not really sure what to side in, you can Ash pretty much any deck, so it's really good to just have. We've got 3 copies of Evenly Matched. This is the only board breaker we're playing. It just outs any ridiculous back row decks where they're going to set loads of traps. You don't want that, so just evenly matched them makes it a lot easier. you're not going to do much damage anyway with this being sort of a stun deck, so missing your battle phase isn't that important really. And then lastly, I've got 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. It's the hand trap that cannot be stopped. Essentially, you know, they can't really negate it, they can't call by it, they can't gamma it. So it's just a really safe choice against a lot of different decks. So that's it for the side deck. So this has been my Volcanic deck profile. I really enjoy this deck, I've been playing it for quite a while. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.